Good evening, folks. This is your weekly wake-up call, and we're not going to waste any time here. We're turning it over to Dave.
Now, I know that when I say three little words, you're just going to roll your eyes. I need you to listen to me. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Number one, she needs to be voted out. I don't care what every single publication is saying about Marcus Flowers, that he is an underdog. We need to flip that script and make him not be an underdog.
Yeah.
Because this,
by the way, the voters have the power to do that, you know.
Yeah. So here's the bottom line, and I'm going to lay out all of the. I'm not going to show you any of the sources, but there's a fantastic article from the Washington Post, basically saying that when she got elected, she's not a legislator; she is a live streamer and a social media personality. Now, that's partially true. She's also, at this point, an insurrectionist, an instigator, a provocateur, and a fascist. Okay?
Leave out liar, because she's that too.
Right. And also, I understand people might roll their eyes at this story about her allegedly kicking, and I didn't see it in the video, but I believe that she did. She kicked at the back of the heels of an activist because this activist deigned to get in her way as she was talking to her about gun violence. But the more glaring issue and the more glaring problem is that Marjorie Taylor Greene called this activist and activists like her and people from the left cowards for not allowing gun rights and allowing parents to come into schools and protect their kids with guns. Now, this is a long fought battle by the right wing. If you remember Gabrielle Giffords, or Gabby Giffords, who was shot in 2011, there is a law center and a research center basically named after her. And in the past 5 years, there are 100 publicly reported incidents of mishandled guns at schools in the last 5 years, including by adults, by the way, including a teacher's loaded gun falling from his waistband during a cartwheel, a student grabbing an officer's gun while the officer attempted to subdue the student, and a teacher unintentionally firing a gun in class during a safety demonstration. And there are lists upon lists of these types of incidents. So there is a reason why we call for these things not to happen. Marjorie Taylor Greene has called for this, which is a dangerous, potentially dangerous situation. She has called for the dismantling of the Department of Education because of the indoctrination of school children,
which is not going on, by the way.
Which is not going on. She called for the execution of Nancy Pelosi, and she continues to call for Trump, saying that Trump is the real elected president. Now, she also does a show with Milo Yiannopoulos. And recently, apparently, and this is in the news sources, Milo called for violence against Dave Rubin. Now, I don't really, whatever, no one should call for violence against anybody else. Dave Rubin happens to be gay. I don't know exactly what the situation was or what Dave Rubin said to upset Milo. I mean, but in turn, Dave Rubin stated in terms of the transgender issue in schools, the alleged transgender issue or gender identity being taught in schools, that if anyone ever went to his child, Justin, and said that they should call themselves Justine, which by the way never happens, he would consider killing that teacher or that instructor. Do you realize what that does and how that incites people and makes it seem okay? When people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Milo Yiannopoulos, Dave Rubin, or whoever else does this, things like bomb threats in a Boston hospital are more likely to happen.
Yeah,
So-
I'd like to remind everybody that the shooting at the Buffalo supermarket that killed 10 and wounded 3 came after continual pounding into people's head, the great replacement theory.
Right.
You know, this is all interconnected. And by the way, Dave Rubin is also on the right, even though he's gay. Milo is gay. These people calling for violence against other people, especially to me, Dave Rubin, gay, not understanding and accepting transgender people. There's something wrong with all of that. All right. Apparently, my gay brethren on the right forget where they came from and forget when people like me, I'm also gay, was the pariah. Now we don't have to be the pariah anymore because transgender people are the pariah. And why gay people can't unite behind transgender people is, to me, an abomination. I'm just saying, you know what? It's none of your fucking business either. No one is indoctrinating your students or your children, whether they're gay or whether they're straight, whether you're gay or whether you're straight. They do not teach transgenderism in school, period. End of story. That's a lie.
One final thing before we go. One other thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene does, I don't care, Marjorie, if you want to be your husband's wife, but it's none of your damn business what other women choose to do, whether they choose to follow their husbands or follow their own path.
Right. And so when Marjorie Taylor Greene says, we are the weakest sex, we are our husbands' wives, fuck you, Marjorie. I don't have a husband and I'm not going to get one. I made it 68 years without one.
Yep. Every single female, every single minority, every single transgender person that happens to be in that, every single gay person that happens to be in that district, make sure that this narrative that Marcus Flowers is an underdog.
And can't
Make that
win.
a myth.
That's what they're saying. He can't win because of the composition of the voters. You know what? I gotta believe there are people out there who can flip that switch, and
Absolutely.
they need to do it. She needs to go. You know what? I'm going to just say this. She is not going to be removed. Okay. So you're going to have to do it.
Yep. And she spent at least $10 million on this campaign. Make it not worth it for her, because if she doesn't win this campaign, I'll be damned if she's not going to run again. Remember, DeSantis ran for governor. He was a House rep. Just imagine her as governor of Georgia.
Right.
Just think of that and vote this woman out. I'm done. We're about close to 10 minutes.
Okay. We'll see you guys on the launch
See you
show.
guys.